Good morning, art buddies, and welcome to Bricolage with Paint Girly. This is my channel. I'm Paint Girly, and I'm so glad you can join me today, whether it's live or the replay. Hi, Angie. Good morning. Good morning, Carol. I was messing around with paper and did a little boil, so I'm gonna unwrap that today, and I'm gonna iron my paper. And then maybe throw a little journal together. We'll see. I'm a little bit under the weather. Not feeling my best, if I'm honest. Oh, geez. I'm a little bit under the weather. I could swear I turned my sound down on the phone. I need to read chat from the phone. Apologize for that. There's Gail. Good morning. Good morning, Gail. Hi, Kel. Gail, did you get a car? Gail was going shopping. There's our Joyce. Good morning, Joyce. I was going to take some ibuprofen, but I didn't. Thank you, Gail. Yeah, we went to see, well, I don't know. I think I have hand and mouth disease is what I think I have. You did? Ooh, that's cool. That's always fun. Very good. I just started to have some of these symptoms, and we had been to my daughter's for Mother's Day. And I thought, I just wonder. And then I was looking around on the internet, and so I messaged her. I said, "By any chance, did any of the kids, I shouldn't say any, I should say, did either of the kids have this hand and mouth thing?" And she said, "Yeah, Jack did, a little while ago." And then Charlotte got it, Andrew got it. I can't get my phone to cooperate here. I'm not seeing chat. I've got something not quite right. And so yeah, I have some symptoms: a very sore mouth, sore tongue. I feel like I have an ulcer up in the one side of my mouth. I don't have any sores on my hands. Um, my son-in-law didn't get that part. When I looked online, it seems like it might be a little tougher on adults than it is for kids. So, you know, it is what it is, as they say. 7 to 10 days it'll run its course. I'm hoping to see my dentist one day this week. So we'll see what he says when I call. But anywho, we're just going to get on with this. So I hope everybody else is hanging in there and doing okay. So I am not an expert paper dyer. I have bought paper in the past that others have dyed, which is really yummy. And if you can afford to do that, that's always fun. And if you need a recommendation, I can give you one. Probably could give you a couple. But it's also fun, I think, to dye your own if you feel like maybe that's something you'd like to try to do. Wondering why I'm not seeing chat. Oh, there you are. Okay. So this is just very simple. I have a big roasting pan I picked up, I think, at a yard sale or Goodwill, like one of those enameled old-time roaster pans. They were like a dark blue or a black and had the white speckles. That's what I do all my eco dyeing type stuff in. So it's a large pan, and I like to fold my papers to the size of a journal page, if that I might use. And so that's what I did the other day. Normally, I tear these open, I can't wait, but I really controlled myself so I could open these. I'm really not expecting to get much. My husband deheaded a couple of flowers he's got in pots out on the patio. So I said, I'll take those flowers. So I still have some flowers that I'm hoping to do this afternoon. But we'll see. So this package here, I just folded some paper very quickly in half, just bundled it up. I didn't cover it with another cloth, as you can see, just tied it together because I put them in my pan this way. So I had a lot of space just to put the one in. So I thought, let me fold up some more paper and throw it in. So I'm not expecting much here. And then Jacqueline said she likes to gather up onion peels. She gets them from a grocery store. I just stole some from our onions. And so I threw some of those in, so you can see a little bit of an imprint here when I put the paper in, blop in. There's a little bit there. But these are just kind of all really, and I don't think I'll iron these today. But I like to iron them for 2 reasons, and they don't sit all over the house trying to dry out and make my husband crazy. And then I get to use them right away. So I was afraid that if I let them dry overnight or sit overnight, I wouldn't be able to peel them apart. And that's the other thing, when I iron them, that helps me to be able to separate them some. So you can see that a lot of the color didn't really go through, didn't soak through, just got some edges, and of course the outside sheets, they look like they might be kind of cool. So I'm just going to set these aside. These are just plain. I might end up dunking these again today in my other batch, but I'll show you how I'm going to do that later too. I just need to find a spot where I can lay these. So I have a piece of muslin that I usually wrap my bundles in, but I didn't pull that out. I pulled some other fabric out. And I've watched videos years ago where you can wrap them in, probably a bigger sheet of paper, muslin, different kind of fabric, whatever you want. Oh, there's Ange got the menu for us. Salisbury steak, mashed taters. What is that? Oak? Am I seeing? Oh, okra, maybe? Maybe she means okra. Yeah, you can use your heat gun to dry them, Ange. It just takes a long time. I find the iron is quicker. And you can also put them in your oven, like at 250 degrees on a baking sheet. But you got to sit there and put them in. You might have to flip them and then you pull them out. That's really difficult on my back. So I don't do it that way anymore. Mrs. Cog, I think, does it that way. And probably lots of other people. So I just pin this together and then wrap that little cloth. So these are yellow zinnias, and I just used the petals, and I wrapped also some seam bias around it to try to just keep it, so they didn't float apart. Now I see something dark. I don't know why there'd be anything dark in here. So I don't know. Let's see if we get any printing. Let's see. These aren't, of course, drippy wet anymore. Oh, that's what I did. There was this was red. There was a little begonia flower sitting in the box, and I decided to stick that on the corner of this page. Now, if you do this and you don't let it totally dry, I think some people let it totally dry. I'm too nosy for that. These petals and stuff come off, I think, a little easier. But when they're wet, they just really stick. I don't know if you can see. It has a little bit of an image. A little bit of a shadow. In person, I can see more like of the face of the flower. Now, the thing of it is when you do this, you just need room to sit it out. And I don't really have a whole lot of room here today. I did clean up some stuff and move things. So you have like a little pokey tool or toothpick or tweezers. I guess sometimes you could just roll it off like that. You probably will encounter some bugs. I usually find a few bugs when I do this. It's very tedious. I don't want to tear my paper. And when I hit it with the iron, we might be able to see more of an imprint. You can see a little bit. Now see, I've got a petal. Now these petals were bright yellow. And what I did was just cover them with water and then dumped in some white vinegar. I did not measure my vinegar, but I probably put in a half to 3/4 of a cup. I did Google to see because I wasn't sure if I had any white vinegar left. I found one article that said white vinegar is really not what you would call a natural or eco-friendly. I don't know about that, but they said you could substitute lemon juice, but I used the white vinegar. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I read an article where this girl didn't put anything in her water. She just did water. Of course, a lot of see when I hit this with the iron, it should separate a little bit. I might I might just try to pull them apart until we get to the. So I don't want to tear them, and I don't want to be 12 hours doing this. They look like they got some nice color though. No, that's fine, Ange. It's good if you talk. I can't really pay that good attention and pay attention to what I'm doing. It's really bright yellow there. I just think it's thrilling if you get an impression of the flower, the petal. Now, these weren't real, um, they're just beautiful yellow petals. Didn't have a lot of definition or veining, I guess I could say, in the petal itself. I mostly was thinking about the color. Let's see if I can get this apart. And if you do what you want it, you don't want to use real thin, like copy paper. Now, see, this was a tablet of something I picked up at a thrift shop. But see, the green didn't bleed. Now, I'm going to show you some paper in a little while that I also did after the fact. And I'll tell you what I did there, where I used graph paper. And that really bled and bled very easily and gave me some really nice blue. But of course, there's no impression. Now, see, here was after I picked off the petals, I put the stem down and the center part of the flower there. Flipped flopped my pages, so I made trying to make a nice stack rather than it being really lopsided and hard to bundle up. You know how you want to offset things to make like a nice even stack. I don't know that you need to do that. That's just what I do because then when you try to tie it up, it's all uneven. It just makes it easier, I think, to unbundle or to bundle. To bundle or not to bundle, that is the question. But I think if you did when you do leaves, sometimes when I've done it in the past, my paper has gotten very dark. I switched from the type of pot that I was using to this. I think they call it um, now the word's not coming to me. Agate type pot. You kind of look like an enamel covered pot. Those black pots with the white specks, you know, those old roasting pans. What did Ange do? She went to the store this morning and my hand that has the knot on it and hit the, oh, that's just like, I bit the inside of my mouth. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. I bit the inside of my mouth. And if I don't speak right or I'm not paying attention, I am constantly either nipping it with my teeth or knocking it. My mouth and my tongue are so sore. How in the world do people put up with piercings in their mouth? I have no idea. Because my mouth is so freaking sore. I just can't even, it like, the pain goes all through your body and it's like terrible. I can't imagine having my tongue pierced. It's just like, right, Gail, crazy. And for what? To then talk with a lisp the rest of your life. I don't mind piercings. I can appreciate them to a certain degree, certain areas, but the tongue is one area I don't get it. Just do not get it. It's very painful. All right, I think I'm going to start ironing because these are all about the same. They don't look like, I'm hoping that once I start to iron them, they are going to show us a little more of a design. I'm looking forward to maybe trying to get some weeds this summer. And you can Google like the best plants to eco dye with, and you can get all kinds of information. Some flowers give more color than other flowers. Of course, Rosemary Morris she's a pro. She knows what she's doing. She's got it down. Or Jacqueline dyes. I don't know if she dyes paper. I don't know if she does printing, eco printing. I think she does. Oh, I had to have a sip. This is pretty wet. I know. Chewing their food. I don't know. I'm sure they have their reasons. I just don't. For the pain, for just the pain level part. Your tongue, you know, when you bite your tongue, it's like you could go through the roof. I don't know if my iron's really heated up. It looks like it might be time for me to wash my sham. Wow. This is pretty cruddy. There's Kel. Kel, do you put the flowers yeah, I'm going to show you after I iron some what I'm going to do with my next batch. But yes, I do in between all the pages. And maybe that's something to think about, you know, not to do that. But a little image on a page. Like this time I was particular about where I put the petals. I either made a little flower type shape in the center or something from the corner or a little bit on the bottom instead of just like sprinkling them willy-nilly. But when you think of different plants and fauna, vegetation, you know, some things have more definition, you know, more character. I don't know. How would you say it? So, you know, when you iron it, it gets crunchy. If you let it dry naturally, it'll be real soft and it won't have that crunch. I kind of like the crunch. Yeah, the color bleeds. See, so this is almost like a country orange, it's just almost like a rusty kind of a color. I have my box of flowers here. I don't know if I got any yellow ones left. I can show you. My next ones are really a deep red, almost a dark purple zinnia with white on them. So we'll see. Sometimes that can turn blue. Uh-oh, Joyce's dog bit her ear. And I pulled it. Oh, bit your earring and you pulled it out of your ear. You thought she swallowed. Oh my goodness. Jenny's been chewing on strands of my hair. Well, I'm trying to smuggle her. She's in trouble again with Dad. I don't know if the problem's Dad or the problem's the dog. I'm thinking it might be the dog. I mean, the dad. She cannot be left alone out in the yard. She loves it out in the yard, and she loves to dig. And I think she smells moles or voles underneath the lawn because her little head goes down, and then she gets all excited, and then she moves to another spot. It's like she can follow them under the dirt, and then she wants to dig. So you have to watch her. And you think you're quick. You think you're going to just run in the house for something quick. Well, he ran in the house again to go to the bathroom. Okay, so men are quicker than women, but he's not that quick. He's 71. He moves pretty good, but when he got out there, she had 2 begonia plants dug up. She was filthy again. Now I have my iron just on dry. No water, no steam, because I want to dry the paper out. But this is making little marks, and I'm not sure what that's about. So I don't know if there was something on the paper. Not that I could see when I bundled it up, but maybe something came off the plant. But I don't know if you can see like those little, they're little bumps. Kind of like what I expect the sores to be if I get the sores part of the hand and mouth thing. Yeah, I don't know what, I mean, she's almost like a freaking hound dog to me. She just loves to sniff and investigate and and she listens pretty well when you're out there with her and you tell her no, but if you're not out there, all bets are off. All bets are off. You see, they're starting to pop up everywhere. See, there's none over here. Can you tell on the screen? I can't tell on my computer screen. Can you tell the difference in color? Can you see there's a really bright spot of yellow here and over here? But then it's kind of like a light orange down that way. No idea. Now, of course, my iron's kind of, I should probably, I wonder if it'll make a difference if I scraped off some of that paper. Yeah, that's good. And this, some of it may be a puppy thing to some degree. I don't know. Our other dogs weren't diggers, not at our last house and not here. Of course, my memory is not as it should be, but they were old. Their get up and go had got up and went. Yeah, it does, Cal. It almost looks the same color as my sham whale. Now, I've got some stickage here on my iron. I'm going to see if I can get some of that dried paper off. See if that makes a difference. I was using my little travel iron, but it really wasn't giving me enough heat. The paper was too wet. I did some. So what I did was after I took this paper out, these two bundles, I had that pan filled with colored water from the flowers and then, of course, from the onion skins. Here's Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline. Were your ears burning? I was talking about you. Do you eco dye too, Jacqueline? Tell the girls you just straight up dye. I know you do stuff with stencils and patterns and stuff. I found a crazy, now see, it's doing it more now. I found a crazy little mushroom in the yard. I pulled that up. I didn't want the dog eating that. Yes, you eco dye too. Do you find that certain plants give you a better print? Just with leaves? Yeah, leaves are great. I remember watching a video, and it could have been rosemary. I don't know. They were talking about a smoke bush or something. And she got really cool leaf prints. Now, I know when you try to smash them and you put them through your die cutting machine, Kathy Arbor said you want to use weeds or flowers that are weeds because they're not as wet. They don't have as much liquid in them when you squash them. See, I was squashing regular garden plants. Oh my gosh, they look like roadkill because as soon as I ran them through, there was so much liquid, it just looked like splat. And if you have time to investigate and go back and look at Kathy Arbor's videos when she does that, oh my gosh, and she lays them out so nicely on her paper. Eucalyptus is the best. Do you get that fresh? I guess you'd have to, huh? Huh, how about that? So when I had the pan of water with all that nice dye in it, I thought, you know what? I'm grabbing more paper. So I took a big stack of paper that I had here in my stash because I'm just not crazy about the white paper anymore. Oh, I wonder why. Geez, all sides are kind of dirty. So I just threw more paper in there. I didn't bundle it. I just threw it in. So this is the paper that I just pulled apart. See, it really didn't get much to it. Some of the edges got a little nice with the yellow, picked up the yellow, but didn't do much. So I'm thinking about reusing those. Then I had some composition paper I'd taken out. You know, when you get a composition book, you think it's stitched together, you get it home and look at it careful, and it's like perforated. I hate that. I should learn to check. Anyway, so this is all trimmed, and you can see some of it still looks very white, but the stuff that was more towards the top of the stack got a little more color to it. So this is a little more yummy, kind of like a golden yellow. And then I did I had a stack of graph paper, you know, the kind with the lines, the blue lines. This got cool. See, now you can see where I stacked a different size on top. So it got real yellow around the edge of that one. And then some of them are real blue. Look how cool this is. It had just like a drip and a crease. So these might look cool folded up in a journal. This took no effort. You could put a pan on your stove. Put some water in it. Put some vinegar in it. And very, very beachy, are you saying? Very beachy. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, look. Throw in some onion skins. You know, if you had avocado skins, you could do that too. Turn it on, bring it to a simmer. And then just take a stack of paper and dump it in. And if you have the time, you know, don't do like I mean, you can see I dumped quite a bit in there, right? Now these are fluffy because I ironed them. Look, that's picking up a lot of moisture from the ShamWow. But see, now I don't have any lines or any squares. Have no squares, girls. No squares. So this is what I'm going to do today. Since I have these here, we'll take this away. And they're dry, and they'll be easy for me to maneuver. I just like to fold them. Now, you have to look at videos and find your own way. This is just how I do it. And I just am doing this because it's fun to see if you get any prints to me. And it's fun to see what colors, what different colors, you know, you might get. But I like folding them in half so then I can, you know, kind of stack and tuck. Now, I could do them flat open, that's for sure, but I don't have that many flowers. So I'm gonna still continue to fold these. Now, these are not maybe the best papers to use, but it's like they're not real lightweight, but they're not super heavy. Unless I had a certain project, I would not use, you know, cardstock because that's hard to fold, but you could do it flat. Say you were wanting a cover or something and you wanted to print. It's kind of like, it's just like eco printing, really, to me. The paper dies, but to me, your goal is you want to get like a print. See, so I'll just take a stack of folded papers. Uh-oh. Oh, it kicked me off. Oh, oh. It's wanting to kick me off. Can you still hear me? Girls, somebody let me know if you can still hear me. I look like I'm still here. Yes, okay, thanks, Kel. Thanks, Gil. I don't know why my computer just asked me if I wanted to leave. Was it something I said? Putting everyone to sleep. All right, so I'll take these few to show you what I'm going to do. If I can unearth my flowers. Now these are a day old. Mostly petals. Hear and see. Oh yeah, seeing's good. This is, I don't know. This was in a bundle of something I got. It's it's doing it again. All kinds of stuff are popping up on my screen. I'm not touching my mouse, and I keep losing you. It's gone again. Huh. Oh dear. Now I can't get my mouse to work. Remind me later. Oh heavens. Maybe it's because I have stuff on my keyboard. Let's remove that stuff. Oh, Gail, I'll tell you, it's been such a week. Nothing is strange to me anymore. I gotta tell you. Okay. So somehow I have something. All right, let's take that off. I got trying to get. I highlighted Jacqueline Zip. Don't know how I did it. I don't really want to hide it, but I don't want to hide her. Okay, so maybe that's what I had it on my. Right, this stuff is wet under here. So this was the yellow petals that I used for that first batch that I was ironing. Can you see how bright yellow? Kind of looks orangey on the screen, but this is a screaming yellow color. Screaming, screaming. And see these purple flowers? That's the center. So see, that might look good on a, I think I might cut some of these in half. Let's do that. And then I got these. I don't think will do anything. These are those maple little whirligig things. So let me get my little, this isn't the best knife I have, but it's what's right here. So I'm just chopping that in half because I want to put it on my papers. And it gets bumpy. It gets thick and chunky. So what I do is, like, I'll open my first page and I decide where I want this and I just pop it down. And then when you close it, supposedly some of the imprint should be on that side and this side, and it might bleed through to the bottom as well. Now I want to put something here. So I'm going to take some of my loose purple petals and try to arrange them. Now I didn't get much as far as impression from the petals, but I got color, so I'm still going to go with it. So I'm going to put those that way. And then I'll put down my next sheet. Now I might flip this one this way. I'm going to open it up, trying not to hit my hot iron. Let's move it over a little bit. Now see, this is the whole flower, but of course it's all messed up. I don't really care about that. I'll see if I can get a print. I'm just going to sandwich it in there. I'm going to layer more petals. This time I'm going to do, well, this will be my bottom. I'm going to do some at the bottom. Just going to throw them willy-nilly. Willy and nilly. And then add another page. They smell so strange. I've got another. This one's really bad looking. All right, I'm going to take those petals out, but I'm going to chop this in half to try to lay that flat. as flat as I can get. Now, if you're doing daisies or something like that, they lay a little flatter, but they still have that, you know, that bump where they're attached to the stem. I'm going to leave it like that. It's connected, but it's flat. So I'm going to go this way. Take that off. Now, in the past, I've done different flowers, different colors, different. I'm going to throw a couple of these in just because I have them, and we'll just see if they do anything. This kind of smells good. Pull some of these off. Let's just do that corner. I'm going to do this corner. Now I do have a leaf here. So let's put the leaf there. And this is all I did with the yellow. I want something there. See, I always forget to go in between the layers. So I'm going to cut another. I'm going to cut another bud. My neighbor got flowers for Mother's Day. Her son always sends her flowers, even though they make her sneeze. Don't ask me, I don't understand. But anywho, I have to remember to ask her for her dead flowers. Now, see, like, isn't that cool looking? I'm going to put that in just like that. All right, so let's go this way. Okay, Ange. Enjoy. I'm going to just smash that in. Some more purple. Now, this may, once it cooks, it may end up looking blue. I don't know. But you know, add another. This is very low skill, ladies. Very low skill. But it is fun, especially when you have leaves, things that are very veiny and have a lot of definition. All right, so then I close that up. And then sometimes I'll put things on the front. So I have a few extra petals. I don't know that it matters that they're real fresh. I don't really know. Don't know. Oh, that's a piece of mulch. Don't think we need that. So now I'm going to use the fabric that I used earlier, yesterday, I should say, for my yellow batch. This is still a little damp, but you just want a little piece of something. Doesn't have to be anything expensive. I like to use the muslin because there's no color, you know, to add to the mix. Now, I could have put this down first, but I didn't think about it. And this is a little small, but I'm going to wrap it like a mummy. Or try to. It's a little fiddly, but we've done fiddly things before. Now, some folks, you know, throw rusty bits in and all different kinds of things. I'm not doing that because, number one, I don't have them. Number two, I want to see what color comes out of those petals. Now, I'm going to go the opposite way with my seam binding. And you could use jute to tie it up, you know, whatever you have available. Now, I pinned the last one. Might pin this one. This is really wide seam bias. Now, the other thing to think about is, what does Jacqueline say there? I sent some pics of my eco dye. Oh, okay, honey. This is so cool with the flowers. I use an old cast iron skillet. Yeah, I was just going to say that. Keep in mind that when you put this in water, it's going to float. You need something to weigh it down. So I used to have rocks that I used. I don't have the rocks anymore. So yesterday I'm putting this in and I'm remembering, oh yeah, it's going to float. I need to weigh it down. So I got my husband's smash burger thing. I put it in a plastic bag and then I just weighed it down with that. Now I could go get my pan and show you. I'm just going to get another piece of this. But I'll tell you, between my stomach and my mouth, and I'm just out of sorts. I just am out of sorts. Okay, so I'm just going to bundle this like a... How does the song go? Um, These are a few of my favorite things. And some with noodles. Something with brown paper packages. Brown paper packages tied up with string. These are a few of my favorite things. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can get to the pictures that Jacqueline sent me. Oh my goodness, girl. Jacqueline, you must know this about Jacqueline. She's an overachiever. Oh my gosh, honey, they look beautiful. Girls, can you see? Am I too close? Oh, shoot. Look at those, huh? How yummy is that? That one looks like a star. That looks like a star. Were these just like fall leaves? Nice. Wait a minute, here's some more. Oh, this looks more like what I used to get, that darker gray color. But see, you can see, look at that. That's your stack of stuff. Look, can you see? I mean, if I'm honest, when you unwrap it and you pull those pages apart and you start to see that kind of stuff, I'm telling you. Is this one a piece of fabric? Or is this paper too, Jacqueline? This one. Look at that. That is freaking yummy. I never got anything like that. Yum, yum, yummy. Okay, let me get back to my chat and make myself live. So this is going to go in the pot. I'm going to put more water in, a little vinegar, and only cook it, like bring it up to like a gentle boil. That's paper. Wow, that was beautiful. And then simmer. I put my lid on because if you cook it and simmer it and you don't put a lid on it, I think you might end up burning your pan because that water can cook off. You know what I'm saying? Just like you were cooking soup. And then I'll weight it down and gently cook this. Now, this is a small batch. I usually would do more than this. Small batch. And then I'll take it out. I put it on an old bath towel or say like an old beach towel. you know, it'll burn you. So I usually use like a slotted spoon or spatula, maybe a pair of tongs. You want to drain out as much water as you can and then let it sit on the towel. And then once it gets cool enough where you can touch it, you can open it up and start, you know, unwrapping it. But I think the experts recommend that you leave it sit like overnight before you take it and unbundle. I think it either sets your print or you get better prints. Jacqueline, do you let yours sit like overnight or do you unbundle like as soon as you can touch it? See, I just have a hard time waiting for anything. Mhm. A personal flaw. You're impatient. See, that's why we get along. All right. So if you want to see me my pot, I can go get it and show you. Just let me know. Oh my gosh, now I knocked my phone over. Oh my goodness. Oh, so you're even more impatient. Yeah, I don't do the gloves. I just unwrap it when I can touch it or get burnt. Okay, so I have more pages that I can iron. We haven't been here very long. I already feel like I need to hop we have the fence up so the dog doesn't get running through the house and have an accident while we're not paying attention. Hubby's out. Let me iron a few more pages. Let me iron this page. See if this little, I'm just wondering like how a pansy might print because you know pansies are just so deep and rich in color, right? But I said to my husband a couple of weeks ago, "Don't we have any weeds?" He's like, "No, I don't want any weeds." I'm like, "I want some weeds." And then we're driving somewhere and we see weeds, and I'm like, "How about I pull over? You could hop out and get some of those weeds." And no, usually he's cooperative, but he wasn't that day. No. Mm. Well, I have a small area here and I want to iron, so it's a little thicker. I was using a not a paper towel, a bath towel, but that's so bumpy. The ShamWow's a little flatter. But see, I think I'm picking up stuff off of the ShamWow. I really got to put this one in the wash. That might be some wax from when we were doing that wax stuff. So what I was thinking was I got a package yesterday. I was getting stuff in for our son's birthday, and I am in love with the oh, I didn't show you. You can't really see the actual flower. You can just see it looks like a bruise down there. Just got a lot of color. No imprint. Um, I'm in love with these brown packages that Amazon is using now. It's like a paper bag. I used one before. I took one apart, I think, on a stream, and it's got all these little white puffy, like styrofoamy type dots in between the layers, which is, you know, the padding, I'm assuming, for shipping. See, I think I'm picking up wax. Um, so I've got one here. I've got an idea that I want to do for a stream. So I've got one that I want to use for that journal, but we just got a package yesterday. That's definitely wax. That's kind of cool looking though. I can't show you the way it's when the light goes through it. I don't think you guys can see. It's really kind of cool. Because you can, well, it's got the, of course, it's got the Amazon logo. Now this one's big. Was gigantic. But see, I put it on the jelly plate and picked up paint, so it started to cover some of this. So this is going to get covered with stuff. And then I put a second one, and then I just put some packaging paper and did some jelly printing, right? So these are all going to be pages. So this is to come. This is part of a video project that I'm trying to get my act together to do. But then today, yesterday, we got a smaller one. Where did I put it? And I thought, whoo, oh, I have it in the sew machine. Hold, please. This one's smaller. And a couple of weeks ago, remember we took napkins and ironed them on, well, it might have been a month, I don't know, I don't remember. Ironed the napkins on freezer paper. Well, these are 2 napkins I ironed on freezer paper. Then this morning, while I was waiting for it to be 11 o'clock, I painted the edges because it's not quite deep enough. And I glued down. Now, see, now this is wet again because this is damp. When will she ever learn? So this is going to be my cover. See, now that's a little damp. So then I'm all excited. I have pink, I think silk thread. Well, I'm having trouble with that dang bobbin again. I can't get the thread to pull loosely through my bobbin. I take the little screw, I turn it, it gets tighter. I turn it the other way, it feels like it's tighter. So I keep turning it. It finally feels loose, but before that, I tried to stitch. See, and it all went wicky-wacky. Looks like a scar. I'm going to leave that. But then I continue to make my holes. So I think I'm going to hand stitch through those holes. But I'm going to try to make different stitches willy-nilly on this cover. And my idea is to put some of these pages in it if they're not too small. See, this is going to get trimmed. I'm going to put lace here. I don't know if I have the lace here that I was thinking about using. This might not look too good. No, I want that other lace. I had a big bundle of lace here. My cart is here. My cart is together. I think I told you that last time. My cart is still not organized. It will be. And it will be before Christmas, but probably not too much sooner. I think I might have put that lace away. I have I have a lot of different laces, so I'm going to find a lace. So I need something that's a little thicker. Right here. Hey, good morning, Judy. And then this is going to get trimmed off, and I'm going to get some kind of bias tape or fabric, trim the edge, maybe do some hand stitching. And then see, once I start, and then I'm going to put in other pages other than this, because I like my journals to have, you know, a lot of pages that are the same, but also pages that are different. So I'll just see how this ends up working out. But see, a lot of times I make things on streams or when I'm sitting here at my desk, and then I don't use them. And I thought, these napkins that I ironed on with the freezer paper are so pretty. They're just so pretty. Well, they're as pretty as the napkins, right? But they're just so yummy. Now, like I said, I just took paint Now I could cut that. I don't know if I will. But I was thinking if I put lace on there, I wouldn't have to cut it. But see, when I stitch, this is what I don't like about when my sew machine goes wonky and I don't know it's going to go wonky. See, then you end up with stitch holes and no thread. Wah, wah, wah. Maybe I'll cut that off because I got some wiggle room here. But see, if I don't cut this off, then I have it on the inside too, so I'd have to put lace on both sides. So I don't know. See, there's a lot of decisions to be made when you're making a journal. When you're making anything, really. And I'm over letting it bother me that the lines are going the other way. But I'll be, I'll be making pockets and tuck spots and gluing other stuff on. See, this is the other thing I do. I had a piece of tissue paper here. We've been over this 100 times. And it's such a great little piece of tissue paper. I couldn't throw the dang thing away. Or maybe it hit the floor. And then I'm saying to myself, oh, Lori, you could put that on one of those pages you're going to work on today. And I could, if I could remember where to put it. I threw it right here. I didn't read what Judy said. Good Sunday morning to one and all. It is currently 84. The high is supposed to be 89. Humidity is 52. I have not yet turned on my AC. Oh my goodness, Judy. Woo! Oh, Judy, you're going to make me cry. That's wonderful news. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Continue to remember our dear Judy. Oh, honey, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Might have to have a special treat. Cool. That is so cool. I almost knocked my phone again. See, I'm trying to scroll. Okay. Okay, Jacqueline. She's got to do another batch. So that's really all I was going to do today, my lovely friends. So maybe I'll get out my big cutter and cut that. Maybe I'll work on this a little bit more. But I need to take a break. I need to go rinse my mouth again. Isn't it terrible? I'm glad I don't have a fever. And believe me, I could do without a few meals, if you know what I mean. Um, but I remember my dentist saying, just even if your gums bleed, just keep brushing them, brush them gentle, but just keep brushing them. Bleeding is good, and they kind of heal themselves and regenerate. So, yeah, I did the warm salt. I'm going to do that again. And then I Googled about any essential oils. So it said to add a drop of peppermint to your toothpaste. So I've been doing that. So, my throat feels a little better, not much. But all under my double chin, girls, is sore. So, I mean, if I'm infected, the dentist may not want me to come in, but after reading online, after 7 to 10 days, it kind of runs its course. I don't know that I'm going to go to urgent care. You know what I mean? Like to see my doctor. I said this before. It's like seeing the Pope. You have to plan 6 months ahead. So I don't see him till August. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for being here. I appreciate it so very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm probably going to watch a little baseball, catch my game a little later, and maybe a little soup. I did some yogurt, but maybe a little soup. Hard-boiled egg, maybe. I don't know. Scrambled might be better. But anyway, so take care, my dear friends. Judy, thanks for sharing your wonderful news. That is so, so wonderful. I'm gonna be thanking Jesus too. Woohoo! Thank you for sharing. That's wonderful. All right, kids. I hope to see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Not much left, but enjoy it. And until next time, don't forget to take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. See you all soon. Bye bye.